Hi and welcome. You're watching another TBC live broadcast on accepting abundance. My name is Paul, and this is episode 90. And today's date is July 12th, 2018. I'm going to quickly go over and see if there's anyone live here yet. Then I'm going to switch out my speakers. Go over and see. Okay. Okay, seems like everything's working. Audio seems to be working good. All right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about TBC. It's a cryptocurrency that came out 2 years ago. And what is different about it compared to all the other crypto coins out that are on a market and being traded every day. Okay. And we're going to talk about how our coin can bring you complete abundance, as long as you're willing to accept it. And who wouldn't want to accept abundance, right? Okay. Abundance is obviously the opposite of scarcity or lack of. And it's what the world has to offer to all of humanity. Abundance takes the form of money, okay, in the control of mankind, our hands, okay? It needs to be the people's money. Money needs to be the people's money. Here in America, our Constitution was created in order to have it that way. The money was supposed to be printed and controlled by the government, of which the people controlled. Okay, there was a time when we used to own the politicians and we owned our own government. But the central bankers came across from Europe and they stuck around because they saw opportunity in a country that is so abundant that they would have been nuts not to, okay? So they wanted to take control, as they already had, of England and Europe over the American colonies. And so they did what they do. And a couple of presidents got rid of the system, but then it came back in 1913 because these individuals are very patient. And the Federal Reserve Act was passed in 1913. And that created the Federal Bank, or the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private bank. It's not owned by the government. It's not controlled by the government. In fact, it hasn't even been audited since its inception because it has so much power. It's managed to keep itself from being audited, in spite of the fact that it's a private bank. That's how much power this system has. They turned around and took our money and lent it to our government and charged interest. And then our government had to turn around and break the Constitution again and create the Internal Revenue Service, which put taxes on the American people called income tax. It's the worst tax you can actually put on people in order to pay back the interest to this private bank. So we've been under that system straight for 105 years. Now, with technology being what it is today, the world is changing. The monetary systems are changing. Countries are out there repatriating their gold, and they're going to start backing their currencies by gold. Russia has already done it with its ruble. The Chinese yuan is being backed by gold. They are using their yuan to purchase oil. They don't want to use our petrodollar. And again, when I say our, it's not you and me. I'm talking about. I'm saying our, meaning this system that's based here in America, the central banking system, the Federal Reserve note that they created, in which they call the US dollar, and which they call the petrodollar. Okay, ever since they took us off the gold standard in 1971. So these countries don't want to use that anymore. They want control of their own monetary systems. And China being the largest consumer of oil has a great deal of power if they have a currency that is backed by gold. The countries that they purchase oil from would rather take their currency than the petrodollar, which is worthless. So 9 years ago, an individual who calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto created the first cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. He also invented the blockchain technology, excuse me, which he created in order to be used as the public transaction ledger for his Bitcoin. And he created, or he set it up to create 21 million coins. And that's all. Okay, keep in mind that we have 7.6 billion people in the world. He's only created 21 million. And the reason he did that was because he figured, and he's very smart, that by keeping it low, the supply and demand would be very huge eventually, and it would work. It would succeed. And he was right about that. And eventually that coin got on the trading market. And people started trading it because people were coming out with other coins using his blockchain platform. And now it's been 9 years, and there's like 1,500 or more coins being traded on the coin market cap. And you notice, if you're familiar with that and you keep on top of that, that the prices and the value goes up and down, because these coins, once they're on a market, can be manipulated by the wealthy, by those same central bankers who have all the money in the first place. Okay, so they can come in and buy whatever they want. They can buy as much Bitcoin as they want, raise the price up, and do the same pump and dump that they do with the stock markets, because the markets are their system. They created Wall Street, they created the markets, and this is what they do in order to, over time, collect the people's wealth and give it to themselves so that they can continue to enslave us. Now, obviously, with cryptocurrency, the reason why we are at the point where the masses in the world are moving into cryptocurrency is because they are realizing that the central bankers can control only so much, but it's not their money. It is the people's money. But when the price and the value of these coins are so volatile meaning they go up and down and you can't really trust them to be stable to use on a massive scale, then really what do you have? You've got coins where you can invest in them in a sense, put them in a wallet and hang on to them. Just leave them alone. And over time, because of supply and demand, they will go up in value. And obviously, many merchants are doing just that. There's not that many transactions of Bitcoins going on out there or cryptocurrencies, but there's enough that there's a small economy, especially with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has about 12 million users in the world. Not much, right? Not at 7.6 billion people. You got about 12 million people using Bitcoin and or have access to it. Now, these merchants that are accepting it, willing to accept it, they obviously have enough cash flow, fiat currency, petrodollars going through their business that they don't need to rely on whether Bitcoin goes down the next day after they accept it, or it goes up or it goes down or it goes up or it goes down. It doesn't matter to them because they just put it in their wallet and hang on to it. Okay, because they know that in 12 months, it's going to go up in value. And it's going to continue to go up in value over the time. So they are in a very, very good position when you think about it. Not too many of us, unless we've got money, and we just, every month we invest a little bit of it and put it in our wallets and leave it like a bank account and watch it go up, have that opportunity. So again, where does that wealth end up that these coins are offering? Is it going to end up in the masses' hands? Is it going to end up in the poor? Are the poor going to have cryptocurrency? Are the poor going to have Bitcoin? Can they even afford it? Will they be able to afford it? How are they going to get it? You know, there's all these things that are out there because the coins are on a trading exchange. And they can't really have faith in a coin that's on a market exchange. They just can't. It's just as bad as the stock market. And we're so used to the stock market that we just pour our whole entire savings, IRAs and 401ks are all based on the market, the stock exchange, right? Again, boom and crash, right? That's what they do. And then they pick up the stocks at a very low price, and they're your stocks that you lost. And over time, again, they have all the wealth to themselves. Okay, so we have seen stock market crashes. We have felt it. We have lost. It has been absolutely crazy that we have been forced to live like this. And we have actually gotten used to it. That's even more pathetic. But it's not our fault. We didn't do this to ourselves. It was done by a few very evil individuals. Think about this. We got 7.6 billion people in the world. How many billionaires out of those 7.6 billion people are there in the world? Do we have a million? Is there a million billionaires out there among 7.6 billion? Is there 10,000? No, there's only 2,200 and I think 40 something. 2,200 billionaires, people that have one or more billion among 7.6 billion people. Only 2,200. That's the problem with the world. Okay, right there. Okay. The Billion Coin, otherwise known as TBC for short, was purposely created as an abundance-based cryptocurrency, and therefore it will never be traded on the market. Again, because the value of those coins can be manipulated. So what is it that we base our value on? Well, it's based on an algorithm which values our coin on the value of people, all people, no matter what their age is. Okay. So when we created this coin 2 years ago, March 21st, 2016, we started with a very small amount, like 100, 171 stakeholders. And we continued to bring in stakeholders over the following 6 months, maybe. And we started to move the coin out. And since the algorithm is based on people, we created what was a mission statement as to what we were going to do and why we were creating this abundance-based coin that's not going to be found in the market. And we explained that we are going to be a community, that what you're basically signing up for is a membership in our community. When you get involved with the Billion Coin, you belong to a community of people, okay, that are like-minded. And when I discovered this, they had already been out a year. So I discovered it in March of 2017, last year. And I was just doing some research and watching videos on Bitcoin, and something popped up to suggest that I watch it, and it said the Billion Coin. And I had never seen that on the Coin Market Cap. And so I went ahead and said, what is this? And watched it. And the rest is history. Because for some reason, I understood it real quick when it was told to me through this video how this coin is different. It made complete sense to me because I have a background with the central banking system. But I have never been able, like none of us have ever been able to go up against that system. Not even a couple of presidents that were not bought and paid for by the central bankers like John F. Kennedy or Ronald Reagan were able to get the job done. But now technology is so advanced that an individual named Satoshi Nakamoto, at least that's what he calls himself, right, has taken this technology to a new level and created the ability to make money on the internet. Okay, that's why when I found out about it, I think 2 years after it got started, 2011, I think was the first time I heard about Bitcoin and internet money, and I thought it was nuts. In spite of my education, I thought it was crazy. Okay, see, that's how brainwashed we are. And I was just so used to what I was used to, and I needed to be slapped across the face is what I needed to be done, but it didn't, nobody was there to slap me. So another 5 years went by, and 2016 is when I realized, geez, Bitcoin's not going away. Look at what the industry has done over the last 5 years. Look at all the different cryptocurrencies. They're all in a market now. They're being exchanged and traded. And I just said, wow, I better take a look at this. And so I did, and that's when I purchased my first amount of Bitcoins. But like I said, I was continuing to do more research, and I came across the Billion Coin. And it is different. Instead of it being just an option to protect the wealth that we have in fiat currency, okay, in this petrodollar that's absolutely worthless, okay, especially since 1971 when they took us off the gold standard. We need some kind of a backup. They've always told us have some gold, have some silver, and, this and that, which is great, but it's just difficult to handle that kind of stuff and keep it around without it getting stolen or people finding out about it. It's even hard to use as money unless you've got it in small coins. But if you've got some, great. It is, something of value, and you'll always be able to use it. Whereas, the fiat currency, the Federal Reserve note, when it goes down, and it's going down, the only money that will be useful is a currency that comes out that will be backed by gold again. Okay? But that's not going to take anything away from the cryptocurrency world. You see what I'm saying? The blockchain technology is here to stay. And it could be used for all kinds of things, not just creating coins that will go back into the people's hands. But if you come across a coin, and we currently are the only abundance-based coin, we are the only coin that's not on the trading market. And so people are skeptical of us. Well, are you a real coin? You're not being traded on the market. Does that mean you guys are a scam? No, we're not. Okay? We've been accomplishing our mission, which was a 5-year mission, for the last 2 years. As far as I'm concerned, we're either right on time or we're ahead of a schedule. Okay, we've already created a brand new, super modernized blockchain platform. You can call it 2.0. And we are currently migrating all of our members, which is over 3 million in 2 years, from the old blockchain platform to the new one. This new blockchain platform can do transactions as fast as Visa and MasterCard all over the world. See, we have to have a coin that can be used by the entire world as money, not just a few people. And then it ends up in the richest hand, in the wealthy people's hands, those that are already wealthy. Okay? We can't have that. We have a mission behind our coin. And it's the most important thing about the difference of an abundance-based coin and all the other coins. Now, if another abundance coin comes out, then please take a look at it and get yourself some. And there is one coming out that we understand in April of 2019 from the Telegram messaging service. They are so successful. After 5 years, they got 200 million people, right? Chatting away for free on Telegram. And now they're going to, or he is going to, the owner, very, very smart guy, bring out a coin that's abundance-based. And it's already broken all the records for ICOs. People, this is the time to start paying attention. If you're new to cryptocurrency and you're just getting familiar with it and you're wondering what to do, should I buy Bitcoin? Do I invest? You know, the prices go up and down. Am I going to have to worry about this? You know, my financial planner tells me, you know, he doesn't know too much about cryptocurrency. Put my money in stocks, but the stock market could crash. I'm hearing all these things about the real estate bubble that we're in again, blah, blah, blah. You know, we have these worries. And so people come out and say, well, always have a backup plan. And they do mention gold and silver and platinum, okay, or any precious stones. But again, cryptocurrency is also that option. And it's a whole lot easier to have and keep and work with than gold and silver or anything that's a hard asset that you have to have a physical control over and access to. And that's another thing. You know, you literally got to have it in your house. You have to have that gold where you can get to it under the worst conditions. Okay, meaning that the banks have holidays and the place that has your gold, oh, we'll store it for you and you can come get it whenever you want. They can close the doors on you just like the banks can. Okay, so cryptocurrency just makes sense and it is the future. So the masses are pouring in just like the masses poured into the internet by the mid-90s. Okay, and then it matured by 2000, then it just went nuts. That's what's happening right now with cryptocurrency. Now, the thing about the Billion coin is because it's based on the value of humanity, the way it's been set up, our algorithm is every time a person, a human being, whether they're a day-old baby or the oldest person in the world, comes in and signs up, fills out the registration form on our sites, and becomes a member of our community, it raises the value of our coin. Just them doing that. They'll get a free gift of Kringles, which is a division of our coin, like Satoshi is a division of Bitcoin. They'll get a certain amount of Kringles absolutely free. The value of that gift today is worth $2,100. And the price goes up every day. That's it. That's what makes it an abundance-based coin, is the price never goes down. And let me explain why. Well, I almost did, right? Every person that comes in raises the value of our coin. And how much does it raise it? It raises it up by 1 grain of gold, whatever the value is of gold for that day, it will raise it up 1 grain of gold. Today it's worth, well, yesterday it was worth $2 and almost $2.60. Okay, $2.59, almost $2.60 for each grain of gold. So every person that comes in, like if one person signed up, it would raise the value of our coin, our main billion coin, up by another $2.80. Okay, so if 5,000 people join tomorrow, then it would raise the value of the coin up by $14,000. Or actually a little bit less than that, 12,000. Okay, at $2.60. It would raise the value of our coin. Every single coin that we have, each one of those billion coins that we have, it would raise the value of that coin by $12,000 per coin. So yes, we do have the most expensive coin out there. But because our algorithm and the value is based on you having it in your hands, we as a community are going to get that into your hands no matter how valuable the coin is. Now, we as members cannot give the coin away. We cannot sell the coin at a discount. Those things would destroy the value of the coin. So we're not allowed to. And they have ways to control that because they control the wallet. It can't control the blockchain platform. That's decentralized. But they can control it through having their own wallet. See, with other coins, you can have a different wallet at every different exchange. You can have different wallets from just regular wallet companies, and you get charged transaction fees every time you transact with a cryptocurrency on the market. But with the Billion coin, we hung on to the control because we do have this mission. What is that mission? Real quickly, it's to eliminate global financial poverty, period. Eliminate poverty in the world, eliminate hunger, and everything that goes with poverty. So anyway, people join the Billion coin every single day, thousands, okay? So it's raising the value of our coin up and up and up. Now, when is it going to stop? The algorithm is based on the fact that we only created 1 billion coins. Never anymore. Not even 1,000,000,001. Okay, it's just 1 billion coins because that's going to be enough to completely bring abundance to the entire world. In fact, 3 or 4 times the amount that we have right now. And have everybody live in complete abundance, the way it should be. And we're only going to make 1 billion coins. And when we hit our first billion members, and right now, earlier you heard me say we have over 3 million. Okay, so we have quite a ways to go to 1 billion, right? But you know how that goes. You start out slow with a cryptocurrency until you get the faith of the people. And then when they start to discover what it is, they just pour in. That's what we saw with the internet. And it came out around 1990. I got involved in it really fast because, not really fast, but about a year later, as soon as I could. And because I was just so curious to get in and drive it. I didn't understand how it worked. I just wanted to drive it. And so I always, use that kind of phraseology and comparing it to cars. But that's the way it is. People didn't have to know how the internet worked. They just wanted to know what it did, right? What they could do with it. And they wanted to drive it. So when they found out enough by the mid-90s, they just poured in. They just poured in. And of course, here we are in 2018, and now you see what's happened with the internet, right? It's not going away. It's only getting better. Okay? The same thing is happening with blockchain technology. It's only getting better. It's not going to ever go away. It's only going to get better. And the central bankers are out there screaming bloody murder because they don't have any control over it. But they're trying to do what they can, by either not letting us purchase Bitcoin with their Visa cards, but they'll let you go into a casino and, blow your money all you want, right? Because it's their money. Do you see what I'm saying? Cryptocurrency is not their money. They don't want you to have it, period. They don't want you to use it, period. So they do that. They also come out with their own coin like Ripple. And the news was that Ripple's in trouble because they're manipulating that and they've gotten caught. And Ripple's not even a cryptocurrency. It's an open source platform. So it has, some privacy, but it's not on a blockchain. Okay. So that's why their transaction speeds are about 1,500 a second compared to Bitcoin's, which is 7 per second when it comes to transactions and how many they can do. See, Bitcoin got in trouble last year because they're traded so much. They're the number one traded coin on the market that they couldn't do the transactions fast enough, and it slowed everything down. So they forked off and brought in another coin called Bitcoin Cash. They created another coin, basically. I'm not sure how that works because that's technology, which I'm not really big on. But that Bitcoin Cash can be exchanged at 130 transactions per second rather than 7. So it greatly helped. But when you can do 1,500 transactions a second, like Ripple can, because you're just on an open source, there's no blockchain, there's no confirmation in that sense from miners and blockchains being created, they can it's almost like Visa and MasterCard. Okay, Visa and MasterCard, they average about 2,000 per second. And they can certainly do 6,000 easily during Christmas time. And they're capable when there's no blockchain like that, they're just using electricity and servers, they could do 50,000 transactions in a second. But they never would get that high unless there was just a massive amount of people on this earth. But 2,000 is just fine from Visa MasterCard. They never slow down, do they? You never slow down. You just whip out your card and bam, bam, you're at the cash register and you're done. Okay? That's the way our coin needs to be done. So that's why we created the new blockchain. It does transactions. We're currently doing transactions between 2,000 and 3,000 per second, just like Visa and MasterCard. Okay, anything and everything that we have done for the last 2 years, we have a plan for it already, and we're just following the plan, and we're getting it done. And we're asking through these live videos for people that are new and may land on our videos to just take a look at us. It only going to take 5-10 minutes to know whether you're like-minded, whether you're going to want to be a part of our community. And we're not going to charge you anything unless you want to be a part of our community. And that charge is $10. That covers your back office where you get your own website for a whole year. $10 covers you for the whole year. Plus, we throw in a lifetime wallet with no transaction fees ever. Okay? And the only reason that we're even charging $10 is because last year, when we were just giving the gift away and not charging anybody anything, and we were giving them a back office for free, people didn't take it seriously. They didn't put value on it. When you pay nothing, it's hard to put value on something. And so when we created this new blockchain platform and we're going through this migration, we said, okay, we've got to change the system because most of those 3 million people came in and they did nothing to increase our membership. Yes, some of them did, without a doubt. We went from 100,000 our first year and we grew 30 times to 3 million. So definitely it worked, but we should have gone a lot faster and grown a lot more, especially once we got to 3 million, which was March 21st or a few days afterwards this year. It should have continued to grow really, really fast. Instead, it's just stayed the same because most of those people that came in, okay, I got this gift. whatever it was worth. And yeah, it's supposed to go up every day. Maybe I'll check my wallet once a month and see if it's going up. But, I can't use it until you guys have some kind of an economy. They didn't quite understand how cryptocurrency works, okay, and what the history of Bitcoin was, which was the same thing, peer-to-peer transactions until, it got to the point where a bank said, okay, fine, we will accept Bitcoin. And that took a long time, right? Like I said, they've got 12 million people. We've got 3 million. Okay, but we're going to blast past them now in the next 6 months. And if we grew by 30 times only 30 times, we'll go from 3 million to 90 million. 90 million in Bitcoin will probably still be no more than 15 million, because you just can't trust a coin on the market. And if people find out you can trust the Billion coin, well, that's a no-brainer, okay? When a merchant can say, what are you offering? A coin that you're telling me is going to go up tomorrow? Yes. And it's going to go up every day after that? Yes. So if I sell you something for $100 and I put that in my wallet, it's in my wallet, it's sitting there $100. I spent 30 bucks fiat cash to sell you something for $100, and you're going to pay me in Kringles. And that price is going to go up every single day until you hit 1 billion people? Yes. Okay. So a year from now, that $100 that I accepted for that $30 that it cost me is now going to be worth $30,000? Yes. So I just spent 30 bucks and I sold you something, and basically I sold it to you for $30,000. Yes. Okay. And now either a light's going to go on in their head or it's not. And that's what we're doing. Okay. So yes, we do have a small economy. It's much, much smaller than Bitcoin, obviously, but we are buying things. Okay. But it started out where we were just buying things from each other. Used cars, used computers, sometimes brand new, just depended on, the individuals who were selling them. So, and we're in 200 countries, okay? And we're especially popular in developing countries, because those people wake up every day to poverty. As soon as they open their eyes, they're looking at poverty, okay? So they tend to change their minds a lot faster than Americans, for instance, or Canadians, or Australians, or the English, British. Okay, so it's just common sense. It's just logic. Okay, but we need to understand that we're no different than anybody else on this planet. We can be just as poor as they are. So anyway, when we realized that we needed to charge something, and it had to be really cheap, because these developing countries, the minimum wage is $1 to $2 a day. A day. Some countries $1 or $2 an hour. Okay, so we can't charge $100, or we can't charge 50 bucks a month, or we can't charge what, lots of scams do. And here's another thing about scams. They want your money first, right? They want your money first. Then they're going to tell you how to make money. Okay, that's not what we are. We're a cryptocurrency. We're not a scam. We're not a multi-level marketing company. We don't have, anything like that. So we had to charge something, so we charged 10 bucks. And guess what? It's no problem. All these people in these developing countries are coming up with $10, no problem. So we're all happy, okay? And people are paying attention. Oh, I spent 10 bucks. Maybe it was the whole income I made for a day, but hey, look what I got now. And I got $2,100 worth of Kringles, okay? And now they're telling me I could get a whole coin if I just spend another $100 on Kringles, that the admin who has all these coins is just going to give me a full coin that's worth what did I say? $8.6 million right now. And it's going to end up being worth, if the price of gold stayed the same today as it would be in 2 or 3 years when we hit our first billion, each coin will be worth $2.6 billion. So if you had one coin, you'd be a multi-billionaire. We are creating right now 1 million billionaires, okay? Not 2,200. Oh, man. But we are creating 1 million billionaires. So we're going to get a coin into your hand any way we can, okay? The ship is still there in the harbor. In fact, it's docked. It's been docked for 2 years. You haven't missed the boat. You have with Bitcoin, obviously, okay? People could buy hundreds and hundreds of coins for $10 when it got started, right? And that's the way it is with all the coins. You get in earlier, you get a bunch of coins really dirt cheap, and then the value goes up, and you make a little bit of money as it goes up, right? Obviously, that's the whole point. And that's how the coins start. But if they're on a market, you're always going to have that volatility. But with our coin, we don't work that way. We don't allow the rich to come in and buy what they want. We control that system. Okay, so we have the power to distribute our wealth, which is our coin and you, out to all of you fairly evenly, okay? Some of you will be millionaires, multi-millionaires, billionaires, and multi-billionaires. You see, depending on you and when you hear about it. Actually, not even when you hear about it, well, maybe, okay? I wouldn't, if you're listening to this now, I would get involved now, okay? But because the promos are changing, and the more people that come into our community, the less we have to offer. Okay, logic. We only got 1 billion coins. We only need 1 billion people. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying, hopefully. Okay, so I believe I've covered how our coin works. And the only other thing I was talking about how the ship's still docked, right? It's not going anywhere. That's the amazing thing about it. You can still get in at the beginning, even though we're 2 years old. And you can still become as wealthy as you want. Now, a lot of people don't need to be a billionaire, right? They don't even want to. It comes with a certain amount of responsibility. And you're going to want to help people. You got to have time and energy to help people, or to, purchase businesses and hire people and give them a wage that they can live on. Just one person, a full wage that they can live on and raise a whole family on. Just one, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so if we owned a McDonald's, instead of giving them $10 an hour, we would be giving them $100 an hour. Okay, so it does take, certain types of people that will do that. And there's millions of those. Okay, because that's the way God does things. There's always a job for somebody, right? If they want a job and if they like the job. And he makes people like jobs that other people couldn't even think of doing, right? Don't you ever wonder about that? Okay, it's not luck. Okay, so anyway, there's always going to be people that want to work. And like I said, when we get to our first billion, that's the end of it. Okay, but we're going to have so much wealth that, like I said, we will be able to supply the rest of the world in full abundance. Okay, whether they're working and they're building roads and building bridges and building buildings and creating, fresh water all over the world and countries and food and farming and tractors and, whatever needs to be done, we, the people, will be doing it. We, the members of the billion coin community, will be doing it. Now, we have no competition, because there is no competition in money. The more abundant base coins that come out, the better. The more countries that come out and put their currency back it by gold, the better for those people, for the world. Because it puts the power, depending on exactly what it is, back into the people's hands. Our coin just happens to put all the power back into the people's hands. All of it. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You know how I said it, and I mentioned that because we have this mission, we have to have some control of who comes into our community and the spread, the distribution of that coin as evenly as possible. Okay. And so we have this control over the wallets. Well, when we hit our first billion members, we have accomplished our goal. We do not need to control the wallet system anymore. So we will decentralize that. And that'll be that, because there won't be any reason to control it after that. At that point, people can do what they want to with all the money they have in Kringles or billion coins in their own wallets. They can give it away. They can spend it, create businesses, build things, hire people, do whatever they want to with the money. You see what I'm saying? So that's the era we're moving into, and I hope to live long enough to see some of that change, because it's coming, and it's coming fast. So God willing, I'll be around for a few more years, and I'll see it. But the point is, I know that people that are younger than me, I don't have any children, but most of us do. Our children, their children, okay, all my nieces and nephews and their children, my grandnieces and nephews, they're all going to be in a different world than you and I grew up in, and our parents grew up in. Okay, it was a little bit better for them than it was for us. But the kids growing up right now, how can it get much worse? Okay, and I'm just looking at America. So, yeah, there was another guy that came out, a big, huge banker. I think he's out of Mexico. And he was just putting down Bitcoin and cryptocurrency like you wouldn't believe, and telling us that it's made up money. It's fake money. And yet, that's exactly what the Federal Reserve Note is. Fake money that they just make up. When they need more, they just make more. Push of a button on a computer and they make another $1 trillion. That's why it has to collapse. Okay, and when it does this time, they want to be able to point the finger here in America at Trump and the Patriots. Okay, but that's not going to work, because we, meaning the Patriots and Trump, are like 5 or 6 steps ahead of them always. We've had a plan that we've been ready to put into place long before we got Trump into office. And we just play the game. But we're going to hang on to that narrative, and we are going to audit the Federal Reserve, and we're going to show that to the world, and that's going to be the end of them. Okay, so there will be a transition to another monetary system in the United States. Okay, but common sense tells you it has to be backed by gold, because the people aren't going to accept anything else. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But like I said, money doesn't compete with each other. The more that countries do this, and they're doing it, Venezuela has come out with their own cryptocurrency called the Petrocoin. Okay, and they based it originally on their oil, but because the central bankers have put so much sanctions on their ability to sell their oil, the people didn't trust it, because, hey, the value is fine. We've got oil, but we can't sell it. Okay, we have our gold. The government told people we have our gold right here in our own country. So we're going to back our cryptocurrency up, not just by supply and demand, but by gold. How's that? Well, yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, and you see changes happening in Venezuela. It couldn't get much worse. People were starving to death. Those bankers were killing people by putting sanctions on their oil. Okay, and making it look like, it was us, the American people, who had voted for these rotten, corrupt politicians who were controlling our government and doing these things. That's not us, Americans. Okay, it was the way the system and the central bankers work, and they're very good at what they do, aren't they? And they tried to destroy Europe. But the European Union is falling apart as I speak. They're trying to create war all over the world. Third World War. It's not working, is it? Trump and the Patriots are creating peace behind the scenes everywhere. And we have friends, okay? And we're using all our friends in all the other countries. Everybody wants peace, except the central bankers and what they call the deep state. Okay, so things are going to change, and we are going to do our thing no matter what. So what we're asking is to accept the abundance we are willing to give you. Seriously, we're willing to give it to you. We have got to get it in your hands. Otherwise, the mission will never be accomplished. So if you're new and you're watching this, look at the description below this video, and you will have links that will take you to our main website. It will take you to our blog system where the creators of our coin stay in contact with us on a daily basis. You will have access to everything you need to become a genuine member of our community. And you will be like-minded or you won't spend a dime, because we have our mission statement separated into 10 paragraphs that we make you read, okay? And then we ask you a question under each paragraph, and we give you two choices of an answer. You're either going to get it right or you're going to get it wrong. If you get it wrong, it'll tell you, you got that answer wrong. Go back and read the paragraph again and get it right. So you can't fail the test. But what it does is it vets the people out that don't have like minds. If you've got selfishness and greed, and you're all about, hey, I want that car, and I don't want everybody else to have my car. I want people to look at me and say, wow, man, I wish I had a car like that person. I wish I had a house like that person. I wish I could wear clothes like that. And that person's feeling fine. Right, I'm cool, man. If you're that way, we don't want you, okay? We just need a billion like-minded, and there is a billion like-minded, believe me, okay? So we're just vetting people out by making them go through these 10 paragraphs, which is our mission statement, which will vet you out if you're not like-minded. But if you get through those 10 questions and you have no problem and you're just going, wow, this is totally for me. I want in. Here's my $10. You know, that's what you're going to do. I can guarantee you that's what you're going to do. Okay? So we don't want your money. That's the point. We're not a scam. Okay? Because a scam will ask you for their money up front. Give us your money. And they'll give you like 3 pages of information of how rich they're going to make you in some kind of a scam program on the internet. Okay? Again, that's not what we are. We're cryptocurrency. We are a cryptocurrency that's going to change the world. So get the information below. You can contact anyone you want that's a part of the membership. Excuse me. And my information is down there. So you can contact me, and I can help you walk you through the process. It's so simple. Like I said, you got 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most to sign up, or 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most to waste and say, no, this is not for me. And walk away. Okay? Don't worry. We'll give you some Kringles when we get to that point. When we get to our first billion people, we'll have enough left over for you. Okay? Anyway, okay, that's it. I'm going to go over and see if there's any questions. Put my glasses on. Hi, Brian. Hi, Diana. Brian and Diana. Man, thank you. Thank you, both of you, for coming in and making your remarks. These are great. Okay? I don't know if you guys read the latest blog post, but there was an interesting couple of them, wasn't there? One that just, kind of went through the fact that migration is becoming automatic, and the other one was about this banker from Jeff Berwick. Pretty interesting. Listen, if you two are still on, I am working on something, and that is here in America. I don't know if you guys live in America or not, but here in America, we have this thing called Craigslist, right? And it's just like a classified system on the internet where people can buy and sell things from each other. Okay. Almost anything. Okay. But there's a lot of people that are willing to trade. You know, they'll trade and they'll either ask for a specific item that they're looking for, or they'll just put out something. Hey, I have this to sell or trade, and just give me an offer. Tell me what you have. Those are perfect individuals to approach as soon as you build up a system of information that you can give to them to explain the Billion Coin and what we have to offer them as a trade for their items, and how we can offer them the opportunity to either instantly become, for $100 worth of whatever they're selling, we buy $100 from them, of that stuff. We give them $100, and if they become, and obviously it ends up in their wallet as cookie rewards, and it's instantly worth what, $8.6 thousand. That's only going to go up in value. So once they understand this, you'll be amazed at how many deals you might be able to do. Now, I haven't tried it yet, but the thought just hit me a couple of days ago, and I'm working on the information that I would send to them. Some people you can text, some people you can call, some people will let you send them an email, because Craigslist has its own email system where it doesn't let the other person know your actual email. It's pretty cool. But you might think about that in whatever country you're in. If you're new and you're listening to this and you're in some other country, there's always ways that we can get the word out to people and offer them wealth. They're either going to reject it or they're going to accept it. Okay? And it doesn't matter if they reject it. Okay? It doesn't matter, because there's so many people that will. I promise you. Well, I can't promise anything, but I can almost guarantee you that there are so many that will. And it's just a matter of you finding a way that you're comfortable with getting the information out. And of course, those of you who are already involved, that you're going to get promos for doing that, right? So that's why we do these live broadcasts. Okay. All right. So what is tomorrow? Gosh, I lose track of days. Today's Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow's Friday. I am scheduled for 5 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, so I'll be here and we'll see what happens and see what I talk about. And I love you guys. I thank you so much again for supporting me and making your remarks. And I'm just so excited to be a part of this. You know how passionate I am. If you don't know, it's because I really try to control myself. Otherwise, I'd just be completely nuts, right? But when I get passionate for something, I really get passionate. And the Billion Coin is something I'm extremely passionate about. And it's because, for some reason, I can see that poverty out there, and I always have. I know it was just because of the way I was raised. I was raised in a Christian home, and religion was a big deal to my mom. And so she, made sure it was part of our lives. And I have 3 brothers. There was 4 of us. And my dad and her got a divorce when I was 10. And the poor woman had to raise us. Okay. And thank God Ken was way older than me. He was 9 years older than me. But, and so there was a 7-year difference between the firstborn and then my older brother, Ken. And then there was only 2 years, and then I came along in 2 years, and Steve came along, right? So she basically raised the 3 of us. Ken, he got out of the house and got married as soon as he was 18. And we all did it, in fact. We didn't all get married at 18, but we all got out of the house at 18. She did an amazing job. for being just a mother without a father around. Did an amazing job in raising us as men and not without any issues. Amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better mother, right? You just don't find them. They're very rare. Okay, because usually we grow up and we end up hating our parents, right? But and I did have a problem with my dad because he left. I didn't hate him, I loved him, but I was hurt, and so I needed to reconnect with him. And I tried a couple of times, but I didn't put enough effort into it. And then next thing I knew, he was dead. And it was just because I never understood that I needed to reconnect with him. Now, yeah, I'm off the subject, but the point is, I have always known what poverty was. I've always had this empathy for people that didn't have enough. I didn't have enough. My friends had more. But when I was off on my own, I did okay. But I still saw poverty at times in my life and with people around me. I mean, I was born and raised in the Los Angeles area. I worked downtown. I took buses because it was cheaper to take a bus than it was to drive your car down there and park for 30 bucks a day. Well, back then it was 10 bucks a day. But, I saw the poverty. It didn't make any sense because I knew what was causing it, but I knew there was nothing we could do. So you see why I'm so excited now? And when I found out about the Billion coin, and I found out how different it was compared to the excitement I had already felt about cryptocurrency in and of itself, this was just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm here to stay. Okay, so I'll be here, God willing, again tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.